Hello and welcome to the video. I'm pretty sure that all of you must have asked yourself at one point or another, what am I here for and why am I doing all of this? Why do I do grocery shopping? Why do I do anything at all? While some people find answers in art, books, science, philosophy, or doing drugs,
Ah, tight, 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 yeah!
some people don't find any answer anywhere. And they come to the realization that life maybe doesn't have any meaning, that maybe there is no point in doing anything at all. And this idea has given birth to nihilism, which is a belief that life does not have any inherent meaning or purpose.
Gentlemen, there's a solution here you're not seeing.
In the last couple of centuries, with advancement in science and technology, the idea of nihilism has become more and more accepted, with science providing an explanation for a lot of natural phenomenon and giving cure to a lot of diseases. People have started doubting notion of religion and a lot, which is not surprising because science is based on evidence and religion is based on speculations. But something terrible has happened with acceptance of science, which is death of meaning. You must have heard the famous words, God is dead, by Nietzsche, which might sound hardcore and metal, but what Nietzsche was trying to say was that by accepting science and rejecting the notion of God, we are becoming responsible for our own meaning and purpose, which is a terrible responsibility to have.
I'm responsible for my own happiness. I can't even be responsible for my own breakfast.
And while to a lot of people this lack of meaning doesn't bother them, few people get depressed about it. But is it something to be depressed about? That is the question I want to ask in this video. First, let's try to understand what kind of meaning people are looking for. Because we are given a meaning by nature itself, which is to survive and reproduce. But while other animals are too busy surviving and reproducing, humans are not satisfied with just that. They want more. So we reject the meaning and purpose that is given to us by nature. Imagine that God came on earth tomorrow, proved to everyone that He is God, and gave everyone a list of tasks to do, values to live by. How many people do you think will do it? My guess is not a lot of people. Because if that's what they needed, if that's what nihilists needed, then they would already be following religion because that is what religion is about. They have those list of tasks and values. If you follow them very thoroughly, then you are supposed to live with the God. After you die, you will be with the God. Your life will have a meaning. Others will respect you, and the values that they promote is not that bad. It's actually a good thing. But for most people or for a lot of people, that is not good enough. For a lot of people, definition of meaningful life is being popular, getting validated by people, being respected by people, and having a good impact on others. But then it will surprise you that a lot of people who have achieved those things are not happy with themselves or they don't believe that they are living a meaningful life. For example, Leo Tolstoy, who is the most famous, one of the most famous writer, his books are very impactful even after a couple of hundred years. He wrote this massive book. In literature world, he is very popular, he is very impactful. Then it would surprise you that Leo Tolstoy didn't believe that he led a meaningful life. He thought his life was worthless, which is crazy because all these people are saying that he has lived an amazing life. He has impacted everyone, but he's not satisfied with it. And this thing is not limited to Leo Tolstoy. Most of us are close to at least one person, and we have impacted their life in one way or another. Like if you have a loved one, would you say that their life is meaningless? No. Would they say that your life is meaningless? No. In one way or another, our life is meaningful to at least one person. Whether the impact was positive or negative does not matter. You impacted someone's life, you changed their life trajectory, and that adds meaning to your life. But are you satisfied with that? Most probably no.
And then I'll be remembered. If I win an Oscar, I'll be remembered.
And then what?
And then my life will have meaning. I don't know.
You're an Oscar nominee. How do you feel?
I feel. I feel the same.
It turns out that we don't want meaning given to us by universe, God, other people, anything. We only want meaning given to us by ourselves. So when people say that life doesn't have any meaning, what they are referring to is that they are not living a life that they find worth living, and that makes them sad. But understanding that meaning is personal and we all have our own definitions of it. If we don't live it, we feel sad about it. It does not help us understand why some people feel more sad than others. Some people can live very happily without trying to search meaning for life, and some people get very sad when they feel that their life is not meaningful. To understand that, let's do a thought experiment. Let's imagine that average human lifespan, instead of being 80 years, was 1000 years. If you have more than 1000 years to live, would you feel the same existential anxiety and same meaninglessness that you are feeling now? 1000 years to live. You can achieve any of your goals in the next 1000 years. You don't have to worry about it. It might take 5 years or 6 years to achieve your goals. Then why would you be worried why you wasted 20 years of your life if you have 1000 years left? See, it turns out that this sadness related to meaninglessness is not does not have anything to do with universe or other people, whether they have meaning or not. It depends on whether you lived a life that you find worth living. And the people who feel more sad about it than others feel their mortality on a different level than others. They realize that they are gonna die, while other people are being distracted by Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Some people just think and realize that they are going to die tomorrow or some other day, and they have to think, am I living a worthwhile life? And if the answer is no, then they feel the anxiety. I read this book like a month ago. It is called Staring at the Sun by Irvin Yalom. It talks about death terror and death anxiety. If you want to learn how you can live a meaningful life, learn more about death anxiety, you should read this book. So the conclusion is that we have to find meaning for ourselves. We have to understand what is meaningful to us, what is a meaningful life, and we have to try and aspire to live by that. But there is one huge problem. Human condition is to find problem when there is none. So no matter what kind of life we will live, we will still find problems in it. We will still say that, well, it was not a meaningful life. That is always a risk we have to deal with. At some point, you have to just be satisfied with the life you have lived, accept it as it is. Otherwise, you will die with regrets.